welcome back to Carolliving. It's been quite a bit. I have missed you, but I'm right here. Today we are going to just share some hacks of freshening up your interior decor. And for me, my kitchen being one of the most dotted place in my house, I'm thinking that I'm going to start with that space. You know, like you come from Christmas, you have Christmas decor. You come from maybe Easter, maybe you have something that is thematic to that. But many times, as in our Ugandan homes, African homes, sometimes we are not intentional about it. There are very few and basic hacks that you can use to be able to like spruce up your decor, to like just freshen up your spaces. And our attention today is going to go to my suspended shelves just behind me. They are very, I've just been refreshing them up just a few days back, and I thought, what is in my storage that I can use? I thought I have blue and white china. Like I keep it away for special occasions. I just want to like kukekereza, I think. But I just thought I could just use it to display it. It will bring decoration, like a decoration vibe to the space, and yet give it so much a freshened up look. So when I look at the first section, actually I'm just going to look at this area. The theme color in my house is basically white. Like my walls have white, my floors have a brown tile that is more like the woody kind. So I just, when you're considering decorating, you have to remember these main colors in your home, because at the end of the day you don't want to clash so much. So because my main color is white, my contrast was the wood shelf. Like it has this very creamy wood color. It's not very bright, it's not very dull, it's just there. And it kind of contrasts well with any bright colors, whether it was a gray or so for me, my contrasting color is the woody shade. So I thought, of all my china collection, I thought this blue and white was the perfect idea to spruce up. These glasses, we use them all the time. Like they're the main glasses we use, like the cup, the glasses. They're the ones we use all the time. But I thought, when they are in this position, juxtapositioning with this blue and white, it's just a different, like it's a different vibe. Eh? So I started with this shelf. Of course, they have really light that really enhances the way they look. I put my blue and white plate to like lean on the wall side, and this is just a cover. You notice it's just a cover, and I thought I could lean it just right over there, and just in maintaining with the thematic color. I also went up and did just a lean on the wall plate display, and then I put a very little flower, not overbearing, just a little flower to just give it like a decor vibe, but not so overbearing. My main thing was that it should not cover the blue and white plate. When you look at the above shelf, like the top shelf, it's well lit up. Noticeably, it's very well lit up. However, I just thought to myself, I have all these glasses I've kept away. I always bring them out when I'm entertaining. There are so many of them. But I'm like, how can I use them as decor? They're just like in a storage, just like gathering dust. I said, okay, fine. And I also had this. You notice that I have these are basically oven dishes, roast pans. And they were always just in my storage. So I said, if I use them as trays, I set the glasses over them. Noticeably, the glasses have lots of texture. And in a way, it just gives you a vibe without you doing so much. So I set the glasses into the roast pans. They're not trays, they're just roast pans, so they use in the oven. Then I just leaned one of the decor plates, like that big plate is a platter really, but it's a decor kind of platter, in the center, like to just hold that space, like to be a focal point for that shelf. And then I decided to just lean two bowls. Notice two blue and white bowls. They are Churchill china. That's, I swear, I keep those things like they're heavenly. Like those are the plates that my kids are going to like inherit, because I keep them so carefully. I bought it, I think, from that store, the ShopRite that closed. But I remember that I had seen these plates in a shop during the frenzy of Harry and Meghan. I had seen them in a Buckingham shop online, eh? And I thought, oh, wow, these are lovely. When I found them in the shops, I don't know if they're original, but they just look fine to me. They just were perfect. They have such a luster to them. Like they're so shiny. They can go in the microwave. So whenever I'm entertaining, I use them a lot. Yeah, and they can also do salad. But now they are just decor pieces. When you come to the lower shelf, it's the same. I just decided, let me have a plate rack, you know, this plate rack, to just carry the very same plate. It's the very same plate leaning in the plate rack. So I just said let me lean them in upright to make sure that this tree design is all up and it's uniform. And this space I centered it with this plate rack and facing that way. I had tried like facing it this way, but I was like, it doesn't look. So I faced it to center this place, and then on the side there are the glasses we normally use. I now instead of only leaning the plate or the bowl, I leaned the plate in the behind. It has such a lovely border, blue and white, lovely border, nice decor. And then I leaned in a smaller bowl, and then I just carried I mirrored this same view here, except here I leaned the plate and the bowl, and then I just decided to put these cups. We use them all the time, that they are the tea mugs. Look, you know, like how in our families we don't like small mugs. Me, I make sure I have the big mug because everyone likes so much tea or whatever liquid. So that's it. And when you come to these other shelves, they still have just utility stuff. These are bowls we use a lot. These are flask bottles that I use. Up, I leaned a white platter. At the back, followed it up with a round plate, as you notice, and then I followed it up with a bowl. So I just wanted to just have a bit of contrast in what I'm putting, the pieces I'm putting, but yet it's still just carrying the theme. And so in front of it, to just give it that space looked a bit empty, I decided let me just place a teapot just in front, a very goldy teapot, or you can say brass, and then I just put a little gourd to just give it a bit of, calm it down, but yet in such a beautiful way. When you look at the upper shelf on this side, I literally mirrored this upper shelf section to here. I leaned already a decor platter over there, gave it exactly the same layout. Just because I didn't have any trays here, I just decided no, it doesn't matter. I just put the jug and the glasses. I didn't have to have a tray. So I just leaned that to mirror what is in the other side. And then on one side, I kept with the same theme. Leaning a plate, a bowl, and also in front of it, I placed a goldy teapot. Now coming to this shelf, these plates we've been using them. I have a tendency of always bringing out particular plates. We use them for 2 months, and then I keep them. I bring out others. It's just kind of to keep sprucing up. You don't have to always feel like you're using the same old thing. It kind of improves. For me, it improves my mood. Changing out pieces in my house for functionality purposes improves the Wi-Fi. So these plates are the ones trending this week. So I said, you know what? Since they're a woodsy color, they will still match with the blue and white theme. I left them here. My kids love them. They use them a lot. This cutlery is what we use a lot of. I also left it here, and I'm like, it's going to bring gold to this corner instead of using one of those teapots. I just said that this will bring the gold theme. And the gold is just like an accent color. It's not the main, but it's more like the accent color. So likewise, I leaned a white and blue plate behind them, and then I just brought in this beautiful vase. It's blue in color, not exactly the same shades, but wow, it still works well. And then a gourd behind. When I came here, I did a similar theme where I used these oven pie trays. Noticeably, I used the oven pie trays. Here there are two, there is one, but I did basically the same. I leaned a white and blue plate, leaned in the oven trays that I always just piled up in storage, and then I leaned the bowl, the blue and white bowl. In front of it, I juxtapositioned them with this very, very goldy or brassy teapot. Up, I did likewise. However, I just put glasses, more the glasses that look like that. There were still leftover glasses. I put them there just to kind of fill up the space, and you realize that I just kept a repetitive form of design. And for me, I come in my home after work and it feels so zen. It feels like I have purposefully made this corner very nice look, but also it's decor. It's like juxtaposition to the wall. I use as pieces, but they're also decorative. We are gonna share other parts of the house, how I've spruced them up in the next videos, but this time I just felt like let me share my hacks for improving your house decor, just freshening it up. You don't have to stay with one thing that you feel fed up in your eyes. You can just improve it. The next time we shall share other parts of the living room, the dining. But thank you much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Let's keep at Carolliving. Thank you.